We are finally going to cover CSS. And for those of you that would like your pages to look more attractive, you're going to be learning how to do that today. We are going to start by reading those pages in the book, and then you are going to follow up with the lecture demo. Now, the lecture demo, actually, I already had that open. The lecture demo is actually kind of important because it expands on what's in the book and it covers things in a little bit more detail. So we go through how you set up CSS, and there are links to the live interactive site so you can practice different ways of adding it to the page. And then I have examples. This is actually the CSS that I use for all of the web pages in this class. It's an external sheet, and that is what it looks like. And by the end of today, you are going to know what pretty much all of those mean. Then the other way is an internal style sheet, so you'll learn more about that, and inline styles as well. And then we get done with that, and you learn more about the syntax. And as you work through here, you'll learn about the different rules so that you can make sure that the syntax, make sure you're entering it correctly so it will be applied to your page. And the style rules and standards are the actual codes and values that you're going to be keying in. Okay, so as you go through here, we do talk about how to change color because color on pages is a huge deal. And there's actually 3 different ways to change color. There are color names, which for beginners are probably the easiest thing to use. There's RGB values, and there are hex values. And I have links to different resources that you can look at. We talk about how to change the background color. We do get into a little color theory because now that we're learning about color, it is important that you know how to put color together so that it looks good on your page. And color theory is very helpful for that. So we do go through color theory. And this is actually how I pick colors for my pages. So I do think that it is valuable for you guys to understand what this does. For those of you that are curious about what do those weird hexadecimal values mean, this explains it. Do I expect you guys to memorize this? No. But for those of you that have been curious, you will probably enjoy reading through that. Then this is very helpful. Websites that can help you select color. So there are several of them. And this first one actually is a color picker, and it's right at the W3 School site. And so you can see you can kind of pick a general color, and then you can get different shades of that color, shades and tints. And it's showing you the different hexadecimal values. Okay, so this is actually really nice. And another helpful site is the Adobe Color site, because if you read through the color theory, then you understand what these different harmony rules are, and you can select a rule and you can move the circles and you can find colors that are going to look good together on your page. Okay, not only can you find the colors, but you can come down here and you can get the hex values, or you can use the RGB numbers. And you can actually manually move these too. Okay, so this is actually a pretty cool site, very helpful. Here's another site that is helpful. It's got kind of the same thing where you can kind of click on a base color And then from that base color, it's giving you complementary colors. Okay, all depending on the base. And it's giving you those hex values right in there. So there's a lot of different ways to pick colors that look good together. You can also upload an image to LunaPick and have LunaPick pull colors from your image. Okay. I did include a link to a graphic that explains how color affects mood, because that is actually kind of important when you are doing your sites. And then we get more into CSS and color. And then we get into how to do background images, which you had a little taste of already because you put a background into your assignment page. So this kind of expands on what you already know about that. Then we get into how to change fonts. And so as you work through here, a lot of what you have wanted to do in your pages, you will be learning today. Okay, so make sure you work through all of this because there's a ton of information here that you're going to be using the rest of the semester. Then you're going to work on your textbook assignment. And like the other textbook assignments, this one is more directive. So there are videos with each task that explain to you what you need to do. And by the time you are done, you would have added CSS styling to several existing pages and a couple of new ones that you will be downloading. There is a parallax effect that you are going to create that is actually pretty cool. I know you guys have seen this. It's where you kind of scroll the text over the background image. So you are going to be creating that. Students really like that. And so as you work through here, make sure you watch those videos because they do explain what you're doing and what you need to do. And then by the time you are done, you're going to have several pages. This is a longer assignment just because CSS is such a broad topic, and I want to make sure that you guys understand it. Because, like I said, we're going to be using it the whole rest of the semester. So these are the pages that you're going to be working with, and our focus today is on the CSS, okay, not as much on the HTML. Once you finish the textbook assignment, then you will have a lab assignment. And the lab assignment is not as directive. You are going to take that details and summary page that you created last week, and now you're going to make it look good. So you're going to decide on a color scheme, and you also need to add in some CSS. So this is not something that you're going to be able to copy and paste. I'm just telling you the CSS here that I want you to use, but these are not CSS, style rules. So this is not something you're going to be able to copy and paste. This is my example of my big cat page. So that's how my cat page ended up looking. Yours should look somewhat similar. And then what you're going to do is update your assignment page with all of your lesson 4 links to your textbook assignment, and then your lesson 4 link to your lab assignment. Okay, and so that is kind of how the textbook section should look, and your lab section. Obviously, you're going to have different colors and backgrounds and whatnot, but that's kind of the general idea. And then you are going to transfer everything to the web. If you run into problems, make sure you have it on the web, and then you can email me and I will help you. So far, you guys have been really good about emailing and asking for help, which is awesome. And the main problems that people have with links and images is that upper and lowercase are different when you put them live online. So sometimes things will work when you view it offline, but they do not work online, and that is always because of upper and lowercase differences. So when you are done with the textbook assignment and the lab assignment, then you're going to do the discussion forum. The discussion forum is basically, now that you have learned a little about, CSS, what would you like to know more about? And that is what you're going to research. And so let's say you wanted to know maybe about, oh, let's see. Let's say you wanted to know something about cool text effects. In fact, I'm going to post something here. There's a lot of new things happening in CSS. So I'm going to post this so that the early birds who do this before everybody else have somebody to reply to. So here is an article. I like the CSS Tricks website. They've got some kind of neat stuff there. So basically this tells you how to do basically an outline color for your text and a different fill color. Shows you how to create the effect. And then I also have a web page code so that you could actually copy and paste this and see how it actually looks. So I'm going to post this. And you don't have to worry about giving people code. All you have to do is look up something that you're interested in knowing more about and give us a link to an article, and then just explain what the purpose of the property is and how people can use it. Then you're going to read postings from other students and reply to one. Okay, and feel free to reply to mine. So that is the research. This is kind of a fun one because you're looking up something you want to learn more about and you're getting points. If you run into problems, have questions, please let me know. I am here to help you. I think you guys are going to have fun with this and have a great week.